Welcome to Start With a Win, where we give you the tools and lessons you need to create business and personal success. Are you ready? Let's do this.
And coming to you from Start With a Win headquarters, who knows where we're at? It's Adam Contos, CEO of Remax, here with Start With a Win. And I see producer Mark across the screen from me. How you doing, buddy?
That's right. I'm doing so good.
Right on. Hey, we have like a superhero on with us.
We have a real live superhero with us this day. Vernice FlyGirl Armour is a former police officer and Marine, and she is America's first African-American female combat pilot. Let's go. After serving 2 tours of duty in Iraq, FlyGirl revved up her career in the private sector as an entrepreneur, consultant to businesses, and author of Zero to Breakthrough, the 7-step battle-tested method of accomplishing goals that matter. So I'm stoked to have her on here and just excited to hear the conversation unfold.
This is awesome. Welcome to the show, V.
What up? I'm excited to be here. I just tweaked my mic. I just saw it hit like red, so.
Right on. Well, first of all, Semper Fi, it is great to see you, and thank you for your service and all that you've done to protect our country and our freedom.
Semper Fi, do or die, till the wheels fall off, baby.
All right. Hey, V, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? How'd you grow up? How'd you get to where you're at?
Oh, man. Well, first, for those who can see, I ate my Wheaties every day.
Nice. Look at that.
Let's see. Born in Chicago, parents got divorced, moved out to Cali, then moved to Cali, housing bubble, recession 81. Then my dad was in construction. We moved to Memphis, graduated high school there, moved to Nashville, went to MTSU, Middle Tennessee, I was a Blue Raider, became a police officer in Nashville, decided to go in the Marine Corps. So if you can follow all of that moving around, you can see I've moved quite a bit. And throughout all of that, and I just learned something from each one. And as I, grew up in life, I really did have the parents that said you could do anything, even though they didn't want me to do everything, right? When I told them I was becoming a cop, they were like, what? It was dangerous. I told my dad I was becoming a Marine. He was a Marine, 3 tours Vietnam, he's, oh, baby, I just really can't you do anything else? Why Marine Corps? I saw how they treated women when I was in it. I don't want my baby treated that way. And I'm like, Dad, if I don't, who will? Like, if I don't go in and try to change things, who will, right? Or to make things better. So, honestly, I've just had an amazing life. I think a lot of things got me here. And the thing that got me here the most was just keeping my eye on what I really wanted. When I was 4 years old, I said I wanted to be a cop that rode a horse downtown. I was a cop and I rode horses downtown. Well, steel horse, Harley Davidson, right?
There you go. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, so you said something that was really fascinating to me. If I don't, who will?
Yeah.
And it's like you look for obstacles in life and you're like, a first black woman combat pilot for that matter. For crying out loud.
Adam,
you're overcoming boundaries here, okay?
I had to crack up for a second there when you say, it's like you just look for obstacles. It's like I am a black gay chick. I don't have to look far, right? They're going to be there. And they're going to be there for everyone, right? We just have different kinds of obstacles. And when you look at women and women's suffrage and women in the military, a woman used to get kicked out of the military if she got pregnant, right? So women have come a long way. Now you could be infantry, artillery, Navy SEAL, a ranger. It's amazing now, the opportunity, opportunities that are available. Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, which was, let's be clear, written in 1936, simply stated, most of the time, opportunities come disguised as an obstacle. So when people look at, obstacles, or you look at my life and say, man, you've just overcome all these obstacles, man, they were just opportunities I chose to take advantage of. Do what average people do, have what average people have. I didn't want to be average. Do you? Right?
No.
Right. So what do we do to break ourselves out?
So you took all of this stuff, and you probably get this question a lot. I mean, I get it a lot being law enforcement, military,
Right.
going into the business sector. People are like, how did you do that? What did you take from your previous career paths to bring into being an entrepreneur and going out and finding success in business? Are there any framework aspects or?
Absolutely.
I mean, what'd you grab?
So there are a couple things when you look at framework, right? So number one, create your flight plan. Where are you? Where do you want to be? And there's a huge piece of that I give folks a direct order, right? Do not think about the how. Not in that moment. That's the dream phrase. That's the vision. That's the what do I really want, right? Then you move to the pre-flight. Dr. King said, you don't have to see the entire staircase to take the first step, right? Just be clear on the result that you want and go from there, right? Because the how just gets you tripped up every time. Then you start, well, don't I do that, and a budget and time and young. The next thing you know, you just have a to-do list. It's not a dream, right, that you had to really go for in life. It's just, okay, how long will it take me to do it, right? So the next step is the pre-flight, the pros and cons, the mitigating the risk. That's where they get caught up, right? But it's really mitigating the risk to continue to go for it. Or if you decide the risk is too great, yeah, right, to not go for it. Like this, one woman was interviewing me and her podcast was on risk. And after the podcast, she's like, do you mind if I ask you a personal question? I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, I'm trying to decide between these three things and I just don't know which one to choose. And I said, well, which one do you really love? She's like, oh, I love them all. I said, okay, if you had 20 million bucks in the bank and you had to choose one, but you could only choose one, you could never change your mind and you have to do it every day for the rest of your life, which one would it be? She's like, oh, I'd be a life coach, totally. I said, okay, so why was it so easy for you to answer that question after the 20 million in the bank, but you couldn't answer it before? And she's like, well, I just didn't know if I could make it work. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? Anytime I've wanted to do something, it was, this is what I want to do. Boom, gauntlet thrown down. Now, what do I have to do to get there? When I wanted to be a cop, when I wanted to be a Marine, when I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I didn't know how to do any of those things. When I wanted to be an amazing golf player, right? It's like, I definitely didn't know how to be good at golf, right? You have to get there and you have to put the stuff in place to help you get there. So somebody taught me how to be a cop. Somebody taught me how to be a Marine. Somebody taught me how to be a pilot. I got coaching and mentoring. And I hired a lot of folks to become an amazing speaker and entrepreneur, right? When people are like, the hesitation and on the fence, and I don't know how, it's like, man, one of my favorite speakers used to say, your attitude determines your altitude, right? Keith Harrell. And it's so true. Your mindset is everything. You said you're so inspired. Marines, we're good at motivation. I don't mind if people are motivated. That's cool. But motivation is, like, I think Zig Ziglar said this one, it's kind of like coffee and a shower. It wears off every day. That's why you got to do it every day. Inspiration is that fire. It's that inner fire that's lit, burns like it. And you turn it up from that little pilot light to like a roaring fire. But it's an inside job, right? It's not from external forces.
Well, this is the perfect segue into your new book that you're working on right now. It's called The Gutsy Move.
Yeah.
And it's about finding courage to move forward and follow your dreams and goals.
The gutsy move, the foundation for it is your gut, your leadership instinct, your intuition, right? And I like to say, what's the gutsy move? In your gut, you know it's right. It takes guts to do it, but you got to take action. If you didn't take action, it wasn't a gutsy move. It was just a gutsy thought, right? I think I'm going to go for that promotion. I think I'd like to be an entrepreneur. I think I might want to get into real estate, right? I mean, thoughts are thoughts. Mindset is everything, but the mindset, your beliefs, values, actions, your beliefs and values determine your actions, and then your actions determine your results, right? So if you're just going to think about things but not take action, the best laid plan is nothing without execution. And I hear so many people say, well, if I do it, then this could happen and that could happen and this could happen and that. And they look at all the negatives of what could happen, right? The worst case scenarios, where if you were to look at the best case scenario or even the great scenarios, it's holy crap, when you really see what you're putting at stake, if you don't do it, it's like, what's the cost? So people will try to talk you out of your dream left and right when they don't understand it. But it was your vision. It was your dream. It was your thing. It's not for them to get. What if, I mean, how many people tried to talk Bill Gates out of what he was doing? Dude dropped out of Harvard.
Right.
And talked about world domination from his garage. Are you kidding me?
You know what's funny, V, is you talk about that, and I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, I went through exactly this. When I was getting out of law enforcement, I was a SWAT commander in law enforcement. I had the best job on a department. I drove around and kicked doors and blew stuff up.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was great.
That's cool. That's like dreams, what dreams are made of right there.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, you got me. I mean, we're on the same wavelength here. When I went in and resigned from that, everybody's going, why would you do that? That's dumb. Why would you go and risk it all and go into the private sector?
That's crazy.
Because I got this. And what you're saying totally resonates here. And I hope it resonates with all the listeners, because that's what it's about. Yeah. It's not about staying status quo. It's about leveling up your life and making that hard move to find so much more. So this is an awesome conversation.
Leveling up your life.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up.
That's right, baby. You gotta level up. I had that like on. I was ready. I'm always ready to level up. I'm always ready to level up. I mean, are you playing to freaking not lose, or are you playing to win?
Right there. Right there. That's exactly it. So I ask every one of our guests on the show, how do they start their day with a win? So V, FlyGirl Armour, how do you start your day with a win?
So this might sound a little cheesy, but it's the truth. I keep my focus on the why. As soon as I wake up, first of all, that's the win when I wake up. And, you know, we talked earlier, I'm reading Atomic Habits and Miracle Morning, and, you know, and there are ways to systematize your mornings. And having that routine, it really is essential. When I think about the police department or Marine Corps, you know, those routines were everything to, like, working out in the gym when I was on the bodybuilding team. You know, our routine of warming up, getting started, jumping into it. You know, you didn't just boom, go. We had a routine.
Right there. Everybody, I encourage you to check out Vernice at vernicearmour.com.
Boom, baby.
Boom. I mean, this is a fun, amazing, really insightful interview. Thank you so much for being on Start With a Win, Vernice. We really appreciate your service to our country and our freedom. And thanks for all that you do every day to inspire us to be better.
Absolutely.
Thanks for starting with a win.
LinkedIn, Instagram, hit me up.
Right on.
The conversation doesn't end here.
That's right. Hey, and if you're ready to create personal and business success, make sure you do two things. One, head over to startwithwin.com. We got lots of great content there. You can find the book, all that other great stuff, as well as subscribe to this podcast. So if you share, we get the word out, reach more people, inspire more people with awesome content just like this. So, hey, thanks so much for being here. And until next time, remember, start with a win.
That was fun.
That was a blast.
That was fun.
Thank you for being here.
Fire.
Level up, level up, level up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
Level up,
level up.
Oh God, the show after the show. I totally want to go a whole entire recording because this is great.
Well, yeah, you know, this is the stuff that goes on YouTube.
Exactly.
You know, if people make it through the podcast on YouTube, then they get the bonus content.
That's right.
So I'm more of a, you know, all I do is win kind of guy. So, you know.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
Here it comes, here it comes.
Every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
I'm a little behind here. I get it.
You got to get jazzed up. Yeah, I like to work out in the morning too. You know, before I hit the office. I got 3 kids, so I try to wake up before everybody else, head over to the gym, and then start my day with a win.
That's right.
You know? But I got friends like Adam, you know, so he's like the inspiration. I'm like, all right, man, if Adam's gonna go do this,
That's
I'm
right.
gonna go do this too.
So I have a question. because this is a show after the show.
Yeah.
And it's
This
for
is the show
our
after the show.
YouTube folks who they don't want to do the average. They're not just listening to the podcast. They're going for the extra. They want all of it.
That's right.
So Adam, what do you feel? When people ask me what was my gutsy move, I'm like, well, crap, it wasn't just one. It's like it's compounding effect, right? Just like your interest, just like your investments, right? Bills. But what would you say was a significant gutsy move outside of leaving the police department? Because you already talked about that, leaving the PD. So what would you say?
Well, he's got some big stuff going on right now, which is pretty gutsy.
V, you're gonna love this. So, CEO of international company,
Boom, baby.
And record 2021. We just had a record 2021.
Absolutely, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I turned in my resignation.
Gutsy.
Well, I mean, didn't Jordan say, or somebody said, leave when you're at the top? Leave when you're at the top.
Leave when you are at the top, girl. That is exactly what I did. So end of this month. So this is early March that we're recording this. It'll be on here pretty soon. The end of March is my last day at Remax. I'm going out on my own. I'm doing coaching, consulting, building businesses, baby.
Nice.
And fixing lives and getting people on the right track. So, yep, that was my gutsy move.
Okay, we totally got to talk after this.
Okay.
You guys, maybe we'll invite you to another conversation or whatever, but Adam and I have some convo to have in private. Just
We
saying.
do. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Hey, that's right. So, hey, thanks so much for sticking around. Thanks for being here and supporting Start With a Win. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. You get more great content. Hit that thumbs up icon and the bell icon so you get notified every single time a new episode drops. So, until next time, we'll see you when we
Love
see
the
you.
glasses, Mark.